You have been disrespected. Someone looked at you, and in that split second, they decided you were not worthy of their respect. They dismissed you. They mocked you. They undermined you in front of others, hoping to see you shrink. And in that moment, something inside you burned, a fire, primal and unrelenting. You wanted to lash out. You wanted to explode. You wanted to show them exactly who they were dealing with. But here is the truth that separates the powerful from the powerless. The powerful do not react. They respond. There is a subtle, almost invisible difference that most people will never understand. Niccolo Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He watched princes rise and fall. He studied the ruthless and the weak. He documented exactly how power works in a world that does not care about your feelings. And today, you are going to inherit that knowledge. This is not about revenge, not about proving anything to the world. This is about transformation. By the end of this monologue, disrespect will look different to you. You will handle it differently. You will become the kind of person whose presence alone makes the insults of others bounce off like rain on stone. Every act of disrespect is a test, a probe, a silent measurement of your strength. People push against you because they are uncertain of their own place. They want to see what you are made of. Every room you enter, every conversation, every glance, is a battlefield of invisible hierarchies. People are watching, calculating, measuring, and the moment they sense weakness, they will exploit it without hesitation. Here is the unspoken truth few admit. When someone disrespects you, they are revealing their own insecurity, not yours. A man secure in his power does not waste energy tearing others down. He has nothing to prove. But the insecure, the envious, the small-minded, they cannot help themselves. Your existence irritates them. Your potential haunts them. And so they strike first, hoping to cut you down before you rise above them. You must understand this. You must see through their illusions. Disrespect is not about you, it is about them. And the moment you internalize this, something inside you shifts. The urge to explode diminishes. The fire of anger transforms into calculated energy. Reflective exercise. Next time you are disrespected, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what is this person trying to test in me? What are they afraid I will show? How can I use this moment to grow, not react? Most people fail here. Most people take the bait, giving others power over their emotions, handing over control of the situation. But you will not. Think of every moment of disrespect as a lesson in invisibility and strategy. Observe the person, see their fear, their envy, their insecurity, and then choose your response deliberately, like a master chess player anticipating moves 3 steps ahead. Machiavelli wrote that a wise leader must never act out of passion. Passion blinds. Passion makes you predictable. And predictability, in a world of cunning and deceit, is death. From now on, when someone disrespects you, remember this. It is not a battle to win immediately. It is a battlefield to control. Your calmness, your composure, your deliberate silence, they are the weapons of the truly powerful. Now, let me show you exactly what weakness looks like. The weak man gets disrespected, and he explodes. His face turns red, his voice rises, his body tenses like a cornered animal ready to lash out. He believes he is defending his honor. He thinks he is showing strength, but everyone watching sees the truth. They see a man out of control. A man whose emotions can be manipulated by anyone bold enough to push his buttons. This is the trap most men fall into. They confuse volume with power, anger with dominance. They believe if they shout louder, if they threaten harder, if they act impulsively, they regain respect. But respect is not earned in the heat of a tantrum. In fact, every outburst is a confession. It tells the world that this man can be swayed, provoked, broken. It broadcasts to enemies and peers alike. Here is a man who can be conquered. Think of it like this. A volcano erupts violently, but the lava spreads randomly, harming everything around it, including itself. That is what the weak man does with his anger. Chaos reigns, but he gains nothing. Historical example. Look at the Roman generals Machiavelli wrote about. Those who acted impulsively reacting out of rage were often overthrown by quieter, calculating rivals. The loudest threats rarely toppled enemies. It was the silent, patient, strategic leaders who endured. History rewards restraint, not outbursts. The weak man also makes another fatal mistake. He responds immediately. He cannot pause. He cannot breathe. He cannot let the moment breathe. He fires back the first thought that comes to mind, usually foolish, usually regrettable, always weakening. Time, the most powerful weapon, slips through his fingers because he cannot endure the discomfort of restraint. Imagine a chess player who moves before thinking, who rushes every move without strategy. Every pawn lost, every opening exposed, every miscalculation leads to defeat. That is the weak man in social warfare. He plays without seeing the board. He reacts without considering the consequences. Reflective exercise. Next time someone disrespects you, imagine your response as a move on a chessboard. Pause, breathe, observe. Ask yourself, what would a person who controls the board do next? Delay your reaction. Measure your options. Decide your course deliberately. Every moment you wait is power gained. Every pause is control earned. Your reaction or lack thereof communicates more than words ever could. Psychological insight. The weak man thinks emotion is power. He confuses reaction with dominance. He believes passion is strength. Machiavelli warned centuries ago that passion blinds. It makes you predictable. And in the world of power, predictability is death. Here is the key lesson. The weak man believes he is defending himself, but in truth, he is destroying himself. Every reaction, every shout, every display of anger chips away at his influence, his presence, his reputation. The weak man lives in a cycle of reaction and regret. He is a puppet of his own impulses. He is at the mercy of the provocations around him. And most men will live their entire lives trapped in this cycle, never realizing that strength is measured in restraint, not volume. But you, listening now, will not be that man. You will see through the smoke and mirrors of human insecurity. You will recognize the traps, the provocations, the tests. You will understand that true power is mastery over yourself. Now, let me introduce you to a different kind of man. A man who operates on a level most people cannot comprehend. This is the Machiavellian. He sees disrespect, and he feels nothing. Not because he is numb, not because he does not notice, but because he has trained himself to separate emotion from strategy. While others react, he calculates. While others burn, he observes. He asks himself one simple question. What is the most advantageous move I can make right now? This is cold psychology. This is how emperors think. This is how men who shape history operate when the world tries to provoke them. Emotional detachment as a weapon. The Machiavellian understands that emotions are data, not commands. He feels anger rise inside him. He acknowledges it. He sets it aside like a tool he does not need at this moment. This is mastery. This is what separates kings from peasants. Emotional detachment is not weakness. It is the ultimate weapon. When you detach from the need to react, you gain something most men never possess. Options. You can choose to respond. You can choose to ignore. You can choose to wait and strike later, when the moment serves you. The Machiavellian is never forced into action. He acts on his own terms, his own timeline, his own battlefield, and this is what makes him terrifying to others. They cannot read him. They throw insults. Nothing. They spread rumors. Silence. They try to humiliate him. He smiles. He walks away. This unpredictability creates fear. It creates doubt. It makes people wonder, what does he know that I do not? And that wondering, that hesitation, is where his power lives. Historical example. Consider the kings and generals Machiavelli studied. Those who lost themselves to passion were overthrown, ignored, or betrayed. Those who paused, observed, and acted strategically carved empires and wrote history. Every calculated move, every measured silence, every withheld word became a weapon of dominance. Exercise. The pause before action. Next time someone disrespects you, try this. Pause. Count to 10. Breathe deeply. Observe. What is the real intention behind the disrespect? Are they testing you? Are they insecure? Calculate. What outcome serves your long-term power? Decide. Choose your action deliberately, not impulsively. Every moment you pause, you gain control. Every breath you take before responding strengthens your position. The power of observation. The Machiavellian knows that others reveal themselves when they think you are weak. When someone pushes, provokes, or insults, they are giving away their hand. They are showing their insecurities, their desires, their weaknesses. While the weak man reacts, the Machiavellian reads the room. He studies patterns, motives, and intentions. He asks, who benefits from this conflict? Who is trying to manipulate me? Who is truly a threat? This is strategy disguised as calmness, and in doing so, he controls the narrative without lifting a finger. Indifference as a form of power. Emotional detachment evolves into indifference. True indifference is more devastating than anger, more effective than revenge. When someone disrespects you, and you genuinely do not care, you have reached a level of power most men will never touch. Indifference communicates, you are irrelevant to me, your words hold no weight, your existence has no impact. For those seeking a reaction, this is crushing. They wanted significance. They wanted attention even as an enemy. You deny them that. You rise above. You make them irrelevant. Reflection. Take a moment and ask yourself, how often have I given my energy to people who do not deserve it? How often have I reacted instead of responding? How often have I allowed emotion to dictate my actions? The Machiavellian sees the truth. Every reaction you give away is power lost. Every pause, every calculated silence, every measured response is power gained. There is a weapon most men are too afraid to use. It costs nothing. It requires no physical strength. Yet it can break a man faster than any insult ever could. That weapon is silence. When someone disrespects you and you say nothing, something shifts in the room. The energy changes. The air thickens. Tension builds. The person who attacked you suddenly feels exposed, unarmed, vulnerable. They expected a reaction. They prepared for a fight, but you gave them nothing. And now they are left alone in the chaos they created, looking foolish, small, and weak. Silence is power. Silence is dominance because it refuses to validate the attack. No words. No argument. No defense. It communicates silently. You are not worth my energy. Your opinion has no weight in my world. And this is what destroys people more effectively than any comeback, any physical retaliation, or any outburst. Historical example. Think of the great leaders Machiavelli studied. A general insulted or challenged by his rivals did not erupt. He observed, he calculated, and he acted only when it served his strategy. Caesar did not respond to every sneer. He waited, chose the moment, and struck when it mattered. Louis XIV cultivated a court culture where silence spoke louder than rebellion. A glance, a pause, or a dismissal often ended conflicts before they began. Silence is a weapon the weak cannot use because they are addicted to validation, addicted to defending themselves, addicted to reacting. The psychological frame. Machiavelli knew that powerful men control the frame of every interaction. The frame is the invisible structure that determines who holds power in any exchange. When someone disrespects you and you explode, they control the frame. You are now dancing to their rhythm, reacting on their terms. But when you remain silent, you snatch the frame away. You force them to reconsider, hesitate, and question. You make them replay the moment over and over in their mind, trying to decipher your next move. This is psychological warfare without firing a single shot. Interactive exercise. Practicing silence. Next time someone insults you, breathe. Let the words enter and exit without attachment. Count to 20. Do not respond immediately. Let the room and the moment breathe. Observe reactions. Watch carefully how they respond when your silence denies them power. Note your feelings. Journal or reflect afterward. How did it feel to maintain control instead of reacting? With practice, silence becomes second nature, and people will begin to hesitate before testing you. Silence in modern life. Silence is not just a battlefield tactic, it works in everyday life. In meetings, silence after an insult or condescending comment forces the other person to fill the gap, often revealing their own weakness. On social media, ignoring trolls denies them attention, power, and influence over your mental state. In relationships, silence can set boundaries without conflict, making others rethink how they approach you. Every time you remain silent, you train others to respect your presence, even when no words are spoken. Silence exposes your enemies. When you do not respond, all eyes turn to the attacker. Suddenly, the world sees them for what they truly are: petty, desperate, unworthy of acknowledgement. Your silence lets their behavior condemn them. You do not have to fight. You do not have to prove yourself. You simply allow them to destroy themselves through their own miscalculated actions. Reflection. The silent strength. Ask yourself, how often do I react when silence would be stronger? How often do I give away my power to people who do not deserve it? How can I use silence strategically in my life today? The mastery of silence is mastery over yourself. It is the ability to choose when and how to act, instead of being dragged into every battle by emotion or ego. Summary: why silence works. Denies validation. Insults no longer give the attacker power. Controls the frame. You dictate the rhythm and energy of every encounter. Exposes weakness. Your silence reflects their folly to the world. Protects energy. You conserve mental, emotional, and strategic strength. Silence is not passive. It is decisive, calculated, and dangerous, a weapon of the truly untouchable. Silence is powerful, but silence alone is not always enough. Sometimes, the world demands action. Sometimes, a statement must be made, a boundary enforced, a lesson taught. This is where strategic retaliation comes in. Strategic retaliation is not about blind revenge. It is not about exploding in anger or acting impulsively. That is the path of the weak, the path of the predictable. The Machiavellian approach is different. Observe first. Calculate the consequences. Strike only when it serves your long-term power. The weak man reacts. Consider how most people handle disrespect. He retaliates immediately, fueled by anger. Words fly before thought. Actions are sloppy, emotional, and often regrettable. The weak man confuses action with strength. He believes that striking first, louder, and faster will restore respect. But in truth, he exposes his own vulnerability, giving his enemies a blueprint for future attacks. Every impulsive reaction is a confession of weakness. It tells the world, this is how to break him, this is how to control him. The strategic approach. Now meet the Machiavellian. He sees the insult. He feels the anger rise. He notices the sting, but he does not act. Instead, he asks, what is the most advantageous move I can make in this situation? This is the key difference. The Machiavellian is never reactive. He is always deliberate. Timing is everything. Observation is everything. Calculation is everything. When the weak strike in haste, the strategic man waits for the perfect moment, the moment when his action will teach the most powerful lesson and solidify his authority. Historical examples. History is full of men who mastered strategic retaliation. Julius Caesar faced conspiracies and betrayals constantly. He did not strike at every slight. He waited, assessed loyalties, and acted decisively when the moment guaranteed maximum impact. Frederick the Great. Insults and challenges from rival states did not provoke immediate war. He used diplomacy, deception, and patience, striking only when victory was certain. Genghis Khan. When his authority was challenged, he sometimes retreated, observed, and returned with overwhelming force, ensuring his enemies never underestimated him again. The lesson is clear. Timing and precision create fear, respect, and long-lasting dominance. Practical exercises. You can practice strategic retaliation in daily life. Delay your response. Next time someone insults or disrespects you, pause for 60 seconds before responding. Observe your impulse to react. Visualize outcomes. Ask yourself, if I respond, what will happen? Will it build my power or waste it? Choose your moment. Act only when the consequences favor you. Sometimes, this means doing nothing immediately, then acting later when the situation is in your control. Plan your strike. Retaliation should be precise, proportional, and unavoidable. Avoid emotional or impulsive actions; they often backfire. Modern applications. Business. If a competitor spreads lies, do not respond immediately. Document, prepare, and respond once, clearly, and decisively, perhaps in a legal or strategic move. Social situations. If someone disrespects you publicly, your response could be removing influence, exposing truth calmly, or using silence and withdrawal to let them fail on their own. Personal life. Boundaries matter. Strategic retaliation can mean cutting off toxic relationships quietly, letting consequences teach lessons without unnecessary confrontation. The philosophy behind strategic retaliation. Machiavelli wrote, "A wise prince never takes revenge while angry. Anger clouds judgment. It makes you predictable. It makes you reveal your intentions too early. Waiting allows you to assess weakness and opportunity, identify allies and enemies, maximize the impact of your action. Half measures are for the weak. Strategic retaliation is decisive, controlled, and devastating when necessary." Reflection exercise. Ask yourself, which conflicts in my life have I reacted to too quickly? How could patience have changed the outcome? What is the most powerful move I can make next time, rather than the immediate one my ego craves? By reflecting, you begin to train your mind to respond with precision, not emotion. Key takeaways. Strategic retaliation. Do not react immediately. Delay gives you control. Calculate. Do not speculate. Observe before you act. Strike with precision. Your action should teach a lesson and protect your power. Understand the arena. The impact of your retaliation is amplified by timing, perception, and audience. Retaliate when necessary, not out of pride. Strategic power is never wasted on trivial battles. There is something more powerful than anger, more devastating than revenge, more terrifying than any threat you could ever make. It is indifference. True indifference is not pretending to be calm. It is not faking composure while your blood boils. That is illusion. Indifference is authentic detachment. It is a state of mind where the opinions, insults, and attacks of others cannot touch you, where small minds exist beneath your notice, irrelevant and powerless. Why indifference is brutal? When someone disrespects you and you genuinely do not care, you communicate a truth that cuts deeper than any words. You do not matter. Your attack does not affect me. Your existence is inconsequential. This destroys people who thrive on reaction and attention. They crave validation, even as an enemy. When denied that, they are haunted by their own irrelevance. Historical masters of indifference. Marcus Aurelius. The Roman emperor faced betrayal, war, and court intrigue. He wrote in his Meditations, "If someone does wrong, it is because they are blind. Let it pass without disturbing you." His calm detachment allowed him to rule vast empires without being consumed by petty insults. Abraham Lincoln. Known for his patience and restraint, he was insulted, mocked, and undermined repeatedly. Yet, he rarely responded in anger. Instead, he let history and his actions speak for him. Winston Churchill. During World War II, enemies mocked, threatened, and underestimated him. But his focus was unshakable. He ignored distractions, projecting power and stability when the world was at its most chaotic. Modern applications. Workplace. Your colleague undermines you in a meeting. Instead of defending yourself, you maintain composure. Others notice, respect grows, and the instigator loses credibility. Social circles. Someone spreads rumors or gossip. Your calm indifference signals that their words cannot harm you, leaving them isolated and frustrated. Personal life. Friends or family may provoke, insult, or challenge your boundaries. Indifference teaches them their tactics are ineffective. Practical exercises for cultivating indifference. Pause and observe. Next time someone insults you, pause. Count to 10. Take note of the emotion that rises, but do not act immediately. Detach and reframe. Ask yourself, does this matter in 1 day, 1 month, 1 year? Most insults fade quickly. Recognize when energy would be wasted. Focus elsewhere. Redirect your attention to growth, skills, strategy, goals. Let the person attacking you waste themselves on meaningless conflict. Build an internal fortress. Daily meditation, journaling, and self-reflection strengthen mental resilience. The more control you have internally, the less the world can affect you externally. The psychological advantage. Indifference is not weakness, it is a weapon. When you refuse to react, you control the frame of the interaction. You expose the attacker as petty and weak. You protect your energy for battles that truly matter. The Machiavellian principle is clear. Attention is currency. Where you spend it determines your power. By ignoring the trivial, you starve the petty. You conserve energy for strategic victories. Storytelling moment. Imagine a rival spreading lies about you to an influential audience. The weak man explodes, shouting and defending himself, and the lie grows stronger. The indifferent man? He smiles quietly. He continues building his empire, letting the lies crumble under the weight of his calm competence. By the time anyone realizes, the liar has lost credibility while the indifferent man has strengthened his position without lifting a finger. Reflection questions. Ask yourself, how often have I reacted to attacks that did not deserve my energy? What would happen if I ignored distractions and stayed focused on growth? How can I cultivate a state of mind where the opinions of small minds cannot touch me? Key takeaways. The art of indifference. Indifference is a weapon. Silence, composure, and detachment can destroy petty attackers more effectively than retaliation. Do not pretend. True indifference is authentic. Faked calmness is visible and weak. Focus on what matters. Let minor slights slide while you strengthen your mind, body, and reputation. Attention is currency. Choose where to spend it wisely. The less energy given to trivial matters, the more power you retain. Build internal resilience. Emotional control and strategic detachment make you untouchable. The most powerful form of defense is one you never have to use. A reputation so solid, so unshakable, that people think twice before they even consider disrespecting you. This is not about intimidation for show. This is about being genuinely formidable, so competent, disciplined, and strategic that disrespect becomes a rare and foolish act. Why reputation matters more than power alone. Power is temporary. Skills can fade. Money can vanish. But reputation is permanent influence. Perception precedes reality. Machiavelli emphasized that people judge you not just by what you can do, but by what they believe you can do. Reputation acts as armor. When people think you are dangerous, capable, and unyielding, they hesitate before crossing you. Your reputation walks into the room before you do, fighting battles and protecting you while you focus on growth. Historical masters of reputation. Alexander the Great. Before even arriving in new cities, rumors of his conquests and ruthlessness preceded him. Opponents often surrendered without a fight because his reputation was fear itself. Genghis Khan. Stories of his decisive victories and brutal justice spread faster than his armies. Tribes submitted before battles began, knowing that resistance was futile and costly. Frederick Douglass. In a very different arena, Douglass built a reputation of intellect, eloquence, and moral authority. People listened because he had proven his credibility and consistency, not because of threats or aggression. Modern applications. Professional life. Being known as the person who delivers results under pressure makes colleagues and rivals alike treat you with respect. Your word carries weight before you even speak. Social life. Consistency in character and actions builds trust. People notice who keeps promises, stays composed, and rises above petty drama. The 5 pillars of an untouchable reputation. Excellence in your craft. Power respects competence. Master your field. Every skill you develop, every challenge you overcome, adds to the armor protecting you from disrespect. Storytelling. Think of a CEO or artist whose talent commands attention. Even critics hesitate to attack because they cannot ignore competence. Consistency under pressure. People watch how you handle adversity. Crumble once, and that moment follows you for years. Stand tall every time, and people learn you are unshakable. Decisive enforcement of boundaries. A reputation means nothing if it is not defended. When someone crosses a line, respond strategically, not emotionally. Example: a powerful business leader removes a toxic partner quietly but decisively. The action speaks louder than words, and the lesson spreads silently. Control your narrative. Never let others define you. In a world of gossip and social media, people will try to shape your image. Align yourself with the right people, let your actions speak, and maintain authority over how you are perceived. Exercise. Every week, reflect on one area of your life where your actions either reinforce or weaken your narrative. Adjust accordingly. Embrace mystery. Do not reveal everything. Let people wonder, let them guess. Uncertainty creates caution. When people cannot predict your actions, they tread carefully. Storytelling. Think of spies, CEOs, or military generals. Their unpredictability protects them more than displays of force ever could. Practical exercises for building reputation. Daily excellence. Dedicate 30-60 minutes every day to improving a skill relevant to your field. Excellence is cumulative and visible to those paying attention. Public composure drill. Seek out moments of minor conflict or irritation and practice staying calm. Each small victory in self-control cements your untouchable aura. Strategic withdrawal. Remove yourself or your resources from situations where respect is violated. Let others feel the consequences without you having to act rashly. Refine your story. Keep a journal documenting how you want to be perceived. Every decision, every interaction should reinforce that image. Storytelling moment. Imagine a manager whose reputation is legendary. Colleagues whisper about his integrity, his skill, and his composure under pressure. One day, a rival tries to embarrass him during a major presentation. He smiles calmly, ignores the bait, and continues flawlessly. Everyone notices the contrast. The instigator looks foolish, while the manager solidifies his authority without lifting a finger. This is the power of reputation. It protects, commands, and elevates without needing to fight every battle. Reflection questions. How consistent are my actions with the image I want to project? Where in my life have I tolerated disrespect that undermines my reputation? What steps can I take today to strengthen my influence and authority in every area of life? Key takeaways. Building an untouchable reputation. Excellence, consistency, boundaries, control, and mystery are your pillars. Reputation precedes action. Let your name speak before you do. Strategic withdrawal is as powerful as action. Let others' mistakes reveal your strength. Every decision, every interaction, is an investment in long-term influence. The untouchable man builds walls of credibility, not walls of fear. If you want to master life, you must first understand the darkness of human nature. Most people live in a fantasy. They believe the world is fair, people are kind, and intentions are pure. They trust too easily, forgive too quickly, and get destroyed by those who understand the game. Machiavelli did not write for dreamers. He wrote for realists, for men willing to see the ugly truths others ignore. This is dark psychology, not cruelty, but clarity of human behavior. The core truth: self-interest rules. Everything people do is guided by self-interest, always. Even generosity has a calculation behind it. Approval, status, future favors. When you see this, you stop being naive. You see moves before they happen. Exercise. Next time someone offers help, pause. Ask yourself, what do they want from me? This small habit trains your mind to perceive hidden agendas. Envy, the silent killer. Envy is invisible until it strikes. People will smile at your success while plotting your downfall. They congratulate you with words and curse you in secret. The higher you rise, the more you threaten others by mere existence. Their attacks are often not personal, but a reaction to your growth. Observation. Watch subtle signs: backhanded compliments, delayed support, disappearing friends. These are indicators of hidden envy. Reflection. Protect yourself by limiting exposure to those who display consistent jealousy. Fear versus love, the reliable tool. Machiavelli warned, love is conditional, fear is reliable. Love fades when convenience demands. Fear lingers. It regulates behavior even when you are not present. This does not mean you terrorize people. It means you cultivate a presence that commands respect. People self-regulate because the cost of crossing you is too high. Testing character through observation. People reveal their true selves when they think they hold power over you. Observe behavior when someone believes you are weak, desperate, or in need. True character appears when convenience is on their side. Enemies often wear friendly faces. Their motives are revealed when they sense vulnerability. Exercise. Occasionally appear vulnerable in low-stakes scenarios. Observe who tries to exploit it. These are people you cannot fully trust. Perception shapes reality. Your power often depends more on what people believe about you than what is true. Control the narrative. Plant seeds of doubt in your enemies' minds. Let rumors of your strength spread without confirmation. Dark psychology is about removing the blindfold society placed over your eyes. It is seeing the game clearly so you can play it masterfully. Storytelling moment. Imagine two employees in a company. One trusts everyone blindly, reacts emotionally, and shares too much information. Soon, rivals manipulate him, block promotions, and sabotage projects. The other observes, waits, calculates, and controls what is revealed. He keeps his cards close, speaks selectively, and quietly positions himself for opportunities. Years later, the first man wonders why he is overlooked. The second has climbed to leadership, untouchable because he understood the hidden game from the start. Practical exercises. Hidden motive analysis. For every interaction, ask, what does this person want from me? Practice spotting self-interest, even in kindness. Controlled vulnerability drill. Share minor weaknesses and observe responses. Who attempts to exploit it? Who respects boundaries? Narrative control. Write down your personal story weekly. Identify misperceptions and false narratives. Correct them strategically. Fear versus love audit. Identify relationships where respect is fear-based versus love-based. Aim to cultivate respect that commands caution, not blind affection. Key takeaways. Human nature is self-interested. envious, and conditional. Mastery comes from observing, analyzing, and acting with strategy. Fear and perception are more reliable than trust or approval. Vulnerability is a tool for observation, not an invitation for exploitation. The world rewards those who see clearly and act deliberately. You've made it this far. You've seen the world as it truly is, raw, unfiltered, ruthless. You've learned the mechanics of power, the psychology of respect, and the strategies the strong use to remain untouchable. But now comes the most important lesson. Knowledge is useless without action. Transformation is daily. Power is not given. Respect is not earned once. It is built, moment by moment, decision by decision. Every day, the weak choose comfort. They complain. They react. They hand their power away. The strong transform themselves daily. They sharpen their mind through knowledge. They sharpen their skills through practice. They sharpen their emotions through discipline. They sharpen their reputation through consistent action. Exercise. Identify one area today where you reacted weakly in the past. Commit to handling it differently tomorrow. That is growth in motion. Your old self must die. There is a man inside you, the one who reacts emotionally, who gives others control over his mood, who lets words cut him. That man must die. Kill him with discipline. Control your actions and thoughts. Kill him with silence. Refuse to validate insults or petty attacks. Kill him with relentless self-improvement. Make him obsolete by becoming stronger, smarter, better. Each day is a battlefield, not with the world, but with your old habits, old fears, old weaknesses. Conquer yourself first, and the world will follow. Mastery over reaction. You have learned to pause, to breathe, to observe, but now you must take it further. Every insult, every slight, every challenge is an opportunity. Opportunities are not obvious, they are hidden in how you choose to respond. Like a chess master, your moves must be calculated, precise, and devastating only when necessary. Storytelling moment. A young soldier in history faced constant mockery from his peers. Others reacted with rage. He paused, he observed. Every slight, every provocation, he logged in his mind. One day, a crisis arose. Using the knowledge he had gathered, he made a decisive move that not only avenged every insult, but placed him above every rival permanently. The lesson: waiting, observing, calculating, this is the path to ultimate power. Command the room without words. True power is silent. You will walk into rooms and people will feel your presence before you speak. They will sense your calm mastery. They will sense your untouchable reputation. They will wonder how you remain unshakable, even when chaos swirls around them. You do not need to prove anything. Your existence proves everything. Daily ritual for becoming untouchable. Morning self-audit. Write down one weakness to overcome today. Controlled exposure. Engage with challenges deliberately. Test yourself. Respond strategically, not emotionally. Evening reflection. Log how you handled each conflict. Celebrate restraint. Plan for improvement. Reputation reinforcement. Make one decision each day that builds your untouchable presence. Consistency compounds. Each small act of control builds into a fortress of power that no insult, no slight, no challenge can breach. The war is within. Remember, the real battle is not outside. It is inside you. Inside you is the version that panics under pressure. Inside you is the version that reacts impulsively. Inside you is the version that fears what others think. You kill that man with discipline, silence, and self-mastery. You replace him with someone untouchable, unshakable, unstoppable. Declaration of power. Now it is time to commit fully. Do not leave this as a wish. Do not leave it as a hope. Make it a declaration. Write it down. Speak it aloud. I am untouchable. Mean it. Believe it. Live it. Let the world see a new version of you rise calm, calculated, untouchable. Final story. The Silent Emperor. Centuries ago, a ruler faced constant betrayal and disrespect. Others would react, lash out, and lose everything. He did nothing at first. He observed. He waited. He calculated every move. Years later, those who mocked him either bowed, disappeared, or fell into ruin. He did not fight every battle. He only fought the ones that mattered. This is your blueprint. You are the silent emperor of your own life. Every day you strengthen yourself. You fortify your throne. Your mission from this moment. Work on yourself every single day. Mind, body, emotions, skills, reputation. Handle disrespect strategically, not emotionally. Build an untouchable presence. Kill your old weaknesses. Walk into every room as someone calculated, calm, and commanding. The world will test you endlessly. Your choice defines you. React and remain weak. Respond and become untouchable. You have the knowledge. You have the tools. Now, do the work. Repeat after me. I am untouchable. I am disciplined. I am unstoppable. Say it, feel it, live it. This is not motivation. This is strategy. This is mastery. This is the final command. From this moment forward, you do not give away your power. You command it. You own it. You become the man the world fears to challenge.